So I don't know if this is readable on the stream, so just read it out. We've just found what appears to be some scroll called A Moment of Clarity. So knowing the backstory of this tomb being about exorcisms of criminals and deviants, the text says, "An ill woman awaits exorcism, knowing it will not heal her. My mind is clear today. It was not so yesterday, and it will not be again. They say the devil is inside me. They say I am possessed. I've seen the beast in my heart, and it is only me, only my broken mind. But the priests will not listen. I cannot blame them. Some days they appear to me as apparitions of manifest pain and hatred. So clouded are my eyes. I spit and yell, for I am mad, but I know there is no evil in my heart, only sickness that no man can cure."
Thank you.
This sounds like some mental health issues right there.
Yeah, for sure.
But see, these type of things, like this, the reference to the devil and whatnot, is something both very common, like something that you can hear in your daily life, because Western societies use it as part of expressions, but also shocking at the same time. So it has a very weird duality in it, with which you are both familiar and appalled at the same time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
Which other types of like non-familiar heritage doesn't really
especially the idea of exorcism, of course, is something that enthralls a lot of Western pop media, even within Catholic circles, and it's like something that happens very much on the side and not entirely clear if it's accepted by the church or not, but it is.
It's a bit frowned upon.
Yeah, exactly. But at the same time, it is still a practice, and it was most definitely a practice in the times that we have been excavating, quote unquote, where indeed mentally ill people were subjected to exorcisms instead of a nice psychological checkup. So no.
Even until quite late, in like not 10 years ago, but
depends on where you live.
Yeah.
Let's say Texas.
No, but I mean, exorcism still happens today.
Exactly, yeah. Even today?
And for sure. And in a way...
I mean, what do you think about, like, these, getting gay people to be straight?
Yeah, no, for sure.
I guess you can consider that an exorcism,
I mean, people
do it.
People who
think
do it think of it as exorcism because they feel these scary gay people are possessed, etc.
Conversion therapy is essentially Protestant exorcism of what's considered to be deviant behavior in evangelical circles.
And that's particularly what we are also engaged with in this tomb, the deviance of a whole ancient city.
This is a problem.
This is a problem. And for some reason, though, they have been putting a gas trap in this. I'm still not entirely sure. So this is where they buried the people that they gave exorcisms.
That's the problem. I don't know.
Or this is where they performed the exorcisms.
I can lever this. No, not this way.
Do we know? Does
I
Kelly
can
know?
lever this.
What this room? What it's supposed to be? Is it supposed to be only a tomb, or is it also supposed to be the place where they perform
This
exorcisms?
was the place where they performed the exorcisms.
Okay, so that's why they subject them to
there might be some water dipping methods.
waterboarding in medieval style.
I might need some. We need to think this.
We need
together.
to solve this puzzle.
Why is it aimed in a different direction now? Now it's all fucked up.
I think that after this puzzle, Vincent needs an exorcism. Why is it this way?
But what?
Maybe you need to raise it and then lock it and then open the thing and then shoot the fire on it.
But we can't lock it.
You can't lock it. It drops down.
It's down.
Okay.
Yeah, but there is also a white thing on the back of it.
Oh, Kelly giving tips.
Giving tips is probably a good idea because we want to do multiple tombs, and otherwise we're gonna be stuck for 2 hours.
You want to know the tip? The tip is you need to release the cage that's in the water.
Yeah. Well. Oh, something broke off. Oh no, it did. Wow, it's just bugging, isn't it?
You need to release it.
Release it.
I can't release it. It dropped down.
Yeah, but
You need to unhook it. That's what I
it's like
see.
I couldn't dive farther for sure.
Sure, you can.
Can I?
Thank you, Kelly. We desperately need this as we maybe all PhD, or near PhDs. but we suck at puzzling most of the time.
I'm not-
Oh, that's
I'm-
not true. Ares,
no,
Ares finished the witness.
I finished
Ares
The
is a
Witness.
resident puzzle expert, so he should have been able to
Yeah,
practice.
so Alice, why are you not helping with the intricacies of the puzzles?
But maybe not here. Maybe on top.
Yeah. Or maybe
Just
you
At
have
the
to.
slice
hook
through
of
the rope.
crane?
Maybe you have
Oh
to.
yeah, I can knife it.
Yeah, but I tried and it didn't work.
No. You can interact with. No. Ropes you can normally interact with, but I don't know the controls on the fucking.
No, I don't think you can
Or
interact
F.
with this rope.
Hmm?
Okay, let's
But
try to climb this
can you
thing then.
unhook it from this thing somehow?
Guys from York, do you have any any tips for the noobs?
We're just kind of watching what you're doing right now.
So
Well, this is gonna be a long, long stream.
This is gonna be a long night,
I
guys.
don't remember this. I remember doing this puzzle. We have at least two of us here who have done this puzzle, but we do not remember the puzzle.
Thanks, guys. We'll call you again sometime.
We like to help out here at the University of York.
Wait, pull that lever, wait.
Go back. That thing? Can't you do anything with that? The lever itself? What's up in here?
Here? No, those are always like.
Yeah.
Wat ingebouwde dingen. Aan de andere kant?
See the
Is
thing?
there a lever here?
No.
There's nothing here.
No, never here.
There's nothing.
Hmm.
Ah, man.
Let's see if we have more tips.
Or simply
No,
the solution.
no, I don't want more tips.
Can I give it a shot?
I want to do this.
No, that's not it.
That's it. That's that's a core part of it, right?
Has to be.
It has
No,
to be.
but you have
Can
to
you-
burn the body probably that's in the cage when it's hanging up.
What?
That's probably
Are
what
we
you have
burning
to
bodies
do.
now?
Probably
you-
do, though. I'm going to go ahead and put the ethicist hat on and say, let's don't burn bodies.
Exactly.
Do
Well-
you think that's part of an ethical code that we
Not,
should?
I can assure you that in the ethical code of archaeogaming I've been writing, it explicitly says that you are not to randomly set people on fire.
Can you?
But this
roll
is
it
not
the other way
random. This
around?
is for a purpose.
Instead of
Unless
putting
it's
it
their
up, roll it
express
down.
wish to be cremated.
We've gotten a walkthrough and I know what to do when you guys
Are done
are
fucking
done,
around.
are done screwing around. Yeah.
Okay, tell us then.
Did you try shooting the bucket?
Yeah, but we're not strong enough to pull it.
You want to know what you got to do?
Yes, please.
Okay.
I'm looking at Lara and I'm.
This is
I'm-
my ethical dilemma.
I'm
That's
loving
more-
her. I'm
that's-
really loving her again, because I have to say that I played the Tomb Raider, previous Tomb Raider on my PS3, and it wasn't. It's clear that they have invested even more time in their character. I remember how luscious her hair flowed last
Yeah,
time,
it's-
and it's
it's-
even better now.
Yeah, this is also with the
Yeah, on your PC. with-
NVIDIA Hairworks thing.
Yeah, exactly.
And all, or what is it called in
It's
this?
good. It's good.
It's you
And-
should see it in the snow. It's gonna be even better.
And she's got a sensible parka on too.
Right, like a tip, but like a minor tip and like secluded.
Okay, so you need to start by doing those two things at the top and pulling them both.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I.
That's what
That's
we've
what
been
we're
doing.
You
doing.
can shoot
Like-
them and
no, because then we're engulfed in gas. I'm
Yes,
not gonna
but
do
you
that.
you only
can.
have short amount of time after you do that to do something else.
Okay.
Set myself on fire.
No.
Oh, go underwater.
Yeah, maybe.
No, man.
Pull
Shoot the
them.
thing.
Just try something?
Shoot the thing in the fire, and then pull the thing up so it catches fire.
All right, I'm
I
gonna be
think that's-
gassed.
Pull one.
Controller aim
And then run down.
in the water.
Yeah, because I want to
Run
extend.
out, and then you unhook the thing.
Oh, that's clever.
I will not give you any other tips.
So that now it's kind of hard to see that the
Okay,
water.
now shoot it. Now shoot
Yeah.
the fire. Set fire. You're not gonna catch fire.
Do we now do the fire thing?
Oh, it's done.
That's gone. Oh, that's why it wouldn't come up because it was stuck to the fucking ground.
Yeah,
Alright.
I tried to do that once. Yeah, pulling up things that are stuck.
So what happens when we?
Now, you pull them.
I don't know,
Go
what
down the
happens?
stairs.
What happens when we? Because that always is what intrigues me on these puzzles. I think they're so beautifully made. When we pull the two things open, gas comes out. But what makes the water go away? Where does it go?
Because on the sides, if you saw, there are two buckets of water that are being filled and water is being
Oh, that's
lifted up.
amazing.
I also like how
This is
even
the
of
kind of
course
stuff I
all of
love.
this ingenious
So now we
stuff
set
you
the
will
dude.
never encounter as a real archaeologist.
Now we set the dude on fire.
Now we
But-
set the dude on fire.
but
We don't care about
I
that.
always
yeah,
like how
but
they
go on
make
the stairs first, man. You will
make
shoot
puzzles
yourself with
internally logical. I guess
Yeah.
these guys are
See?
too hyped
You see
to
the
engage
water?
in any.
If you would make a puzzle
So
for
you
a
need
Tomb
now
Raider
the
game,
other one, and then the water.
I would feature Aris' beard.
Assume that people didn't have to use this stuff all the time and wouldn't want to constantly be solving a puzzle every time they had to do something.
No, but they knew how to do it.
But they don't have like a reset, so
It is literally video game logic.
That was totally unnecessary. But it
No,
was
no, no.
fun.
Okay, never mind.
Oh,
you need to pull
you
it
are
now,
not-
pull it.
Oh my goodness.
But you need to pull it. Do it. Do it. You know the solution. Come on. Pull the now you can pull the lever. Not this one. No. The cage.
Vincent,
Tank.
Vincent People, by the way, is not an archaeologist, so
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
not
There. Now
he's not
pull
liable
that.
to any
No,
ethical
that one.
codes that we are.
That one
Yeah,
might
now,
move
now
now.
you can move it because now it's not hooked on the
It
ground.
wasn't hooked on the ground with the cage.
Yeah,
and
now
we
you
could
can
see
move
that
it.
before.
So now it goes close to the entrance, and now you can shoot it.
And,
break.
and then smash it
And then
with,
smash it.
with the thing.
Let's see if
Yes.
it works.
I'm glad smashing is the solution.
Smash! Hulk smash!
Okay, so we do have a question from the stream, which I
Yeah.
think is an interesting question. Now that we're talking about ethics, so if we're thinking about ethics while playing a game, are we using our own ethics as us, the player, or do you think in some way we operate as what we imagine the ethics of the game?
we have three potential ethical situations here. Are you embodied in the ethics of Lara?
Yeah, that's one.
That's
Yeah,
the
that's a
question.
good-
Yeah.
What
That
are the
has
other
to do
two?
with-
What are the other two?
Let's talk about the ethics before we open the treasure because the question is important. So what are the others?
Megan just left us on a cliffhanger.
Yeah. Again?
No, I said them, but yeah. So there's three. There's Lara and her embodied ethics, which are complicated by the fact that in this game she is an archaeology
Yes.
student or a recent archaeology graduate, so she should have those
Ethics.
ethics. UCL, where she went to school, should have taught her this stuff. Second set of ethics is the player as unnamed amorphous directed entity. Like what did the developer intend for the ethics of the player to be in this situation? And the third set of ethics is us as archaeologists and researchers. What ethics do we bring into it? And do we use the ethics of our professional code, or do we use our own personal ethics, or do we use the ethics of the character? And I think depending on the situation that you're in and what kind of either research versus play you're doing, you have to determine what set of ethics is appropriate.
And just maybe a little bit crazy, but the fourth one, maybe since we are in fact playing in a historic setting, the ethical system that we think may have been in practice during that time, is that something you should be taking into
Yeah,
consideration?
that's something to definitely consider. Keeping in mind that ethical systems are intangible, so you can only assume the ethical system of the culture based on either the material culture or the written record. You can't necessarily know it in the same way that they would have it embodied within their own
Sure.
practices.
Sure. One thing though is I think that one thing that almost always breaks this, especially in this case as we've just seen, is that if you want to follow an ethics as we would as an archaeologist, we would simply not be able to play this game.
No.
Because we
No,
would not have been
yeah.
able to come here,
We wouldn't have even been able to enter this place for
No,
starters.
for starters.
That
Yes.
is something we were
You
talking
can, but it requires that you treat your participation in the game world as only part of the experience. So, for example,
Sure.
when I'm using one of these games in one of my case studies, I look at every opportunity. Is there an ethical option for me to take in what I'm doing? And if there's not, then I look at it like I have to do what the character does, but what can I do as an additional action as a researcher to mitigate what I've done? So opening that wall with my axe, I would first look, is there a way not to open the wall with my axe? No, there's not. Okay, so before I do that, I need to take screenshots to sub in for site photography of the wall. I need to record what kind of construction it is. I need to determine how much of the area I think I'm going to destroy, and actually record all that information on a separate form effectively, so that the information is there, and someone, me in my dual role as Lara as Avatar and me as archaeologist, has actually undergone the archaeological process. Because we know that archaeology is inherently destructive, so we accept that there's a level of destruction that's going to happen, but how can we mitigate it, even if internal mechanics don't allow us to?
All right.
You think that should be added to the game as an option, or as sort of a new way of gameplay?
Game, but if anybody was listening to me, I think it would be really fun.
I wonder how long it would take, like,
Exactly.
something that now takes 5 seconds to destroy a wall. How long would someone who's not an archaeologist?
5 seconds. It was more like an hour. But
No, destroying the wall.
Oh, sure.
If we have dynamite or not.
So, if I get you correctly, is that role playing as an archaeologist? So of course we are archaeologists. So if we want to, but suppose that somebody who's not trained as an archaeologist wants to do this in a game, is that are you suggesting this is like a meta game to the game, or is this something that is on a more serious level, like an actual professional approach to it, or how should I see this?
It could be done either way. I think it could be integrated in terms of using the tools that the console already allows you to have for screenshots and for making notes within certain file structures for yourself. And I think that you could also do it if you wanted to take it seriously as a professional archaeologist, and you could exercise the same level of professional standards that you would, knowing that when we're in the field, we are constantly making ethical decisions about what we're going to excavate, how we're going to excavate it, what we're going to move, what we're going to leave in place, and how we're going to handle everything we find.
In that sense, Kelly is quite an ethical archaeologist of this game.
Yeah.
Because she is the one who is, in fact, doing precisely what Meghan is now talking about, is going through this game and is looking at every little detail.
Yeah, I love her work.
Every little angle.
One of the things we linked to the stream was a timeline that she's reconstructed of this lost city, that she's also checked with game developers and story writers who said that it was actually fairly accurate. But open the treasure, because we've been standing around for...
Well, yeah, but we've been talking also.
And we should maybe record this. Take a screenshot.
Well, I can, I guess.
Yeah, you can. Take a screenshot.
Because it's PC, so I can just press print screen.
Exactly,
Yeah,
just press print screen.
No, but then
Like-
look at it, like zoom at it, and look at it directly.
Yeah,
But then
multiple
I have to
photos.
Alt-tab to
I
desktop and all that shit.
next time I will bring a photo form.
I don't actually
I will
know if
take
I
a
took a
photo
print
with
screen or if because I don't know what the print screen button. There's probably F12 or F11. That's
on
an
Steam
actual
it's
screenshot.
F11. Yeah.
Is it F11?
I think so.
Then I'll press F11.
But there we go. Aris is taking an up close and personal shot, not of Lara but of the artifact. All right.
All right.
Okay, let's open it then.
So first of all,
I like it. He remains a treasure hunter.
No, but that's
taking
what
the
we do.
photo. Come on, let's open it now.
That's what we do, right? We take a picture, we measure things,
well,
we draw
first
them.
I'm gonna recover this
Drill
ore
them
that I
in that
found.
Yeah, okay.
Then I'm gonna open this little vase and take whatever inside, which is
XP.
a coin and
There's XP inside.
XP as well. This is also a thing. It's materials.
Is XP some kind of intangible heritage?
Aha! I like that question. XP some. Well, it is not intangible heritage because
Well,
I guess it's personal experience.
This is
Yeah,
always a
but
special
still.
moment because now we'll get another thing. I don't know what thing,
Alright.
but it'll be a thing.
And this is what I was talking about. Look at the way that she handles this, where she opens it, but then at the end it's clear that she didn't actually take the book.
Yes, that's true.
Like,
She absorbs what it says, but she leaves it behind.
Formula for Greek
And
fire.
so why is it that she privileges that artifact over everything else in the
Oh my
game?
god, that's amazeballs.
Can I talk about that? Am I allowed to talk about that? Can I,
Yes,
can I
Greek
bring some
fire.
stuff?
Please do. What
we
is
will,
Greek
we will
fire?
return
Here
to
it
Megan's
comes.
question later, but first Aris got a cultural gripe.
Here it
Well,
comes.
it's not a
Fire.
culture, but it's
What
weird.
is Greek fire?
I think what they mean.
Well, give me a lighter and I'll show.
No,
What are you doing?
no, don't. So I think what they mean, I suppose, I assume,
Of course.
is that one of the core fighting mechanisms of Byzantine ships was the liquid fire, right? And
Sure.
that's why I think they refer to that because they also refer to Molotov cocktails. And there is the only other instance I can imagine of Greek fire is Prometheus, of course.
Yeah, but actually
So
you
it's kind
encounter
of-
it first in barrels.
Yeah, I assume it's the because we find it in kind of a Byzantine manuscript. This is more or less. If you zoom into the, can you zoom into the book, like target it? Yeah.
Targeted.
Thank you. I'm not sure. This seems
Wait,
like.
let me see
like,
if I can zoom in more with
Greek
my
letters
sniper.
in sequence,
No, I
right?
can't.
So I assume this is a Greek Byzantine manuscript, and
Can I
then
continue now?
it probably refers
We have
to
stuff to do.
the Byzantine like liquid fire on ships, because that would make like contextual sense.